Welcome to Wisdom Bites, where powerful ideas shape extraordinary lives. Success isn't just about talent or intelligence, it's about how we think. Mindset by Carol Dweck reveals the secret behind lifelong growth and achievement. This book isn't just about motivation, it's about transforming the way we approach challenges, failures, and success itself. If you want to unlock your full potential, cultivate resilience, and develop a mindset that fuels success, let's dive in now. What is mindset, and why does it play such a crucial role in the journey to success? Perhaps you've wondered more than once why some people seem to always find opportunities even in adversity, while others easily give up when faced with challenges. The difference lies in how we think, in how we view the world and respond to situations in life. Not everything is determined by innate talent or where we come from. In fact, numerous studies have shown that it's the way we train and develop our mindset that ultimately decides how far we can go. Carol Dweck's book Mindset has become a classic, embraced by millions of people worldwide, because it offers a completely new perspective on mindset. Carol Dweck, a renowned psychologist from Stanford University, spent many years studying the power of mindset in shaping human behavior and success. She discovered that there are two main types of mindsets: the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. The way we choose to view problems, whether as limitations or opportunities, decides how we act and how we reach our goals. Through Mindset, Dweck not only helps us understand the power of mindset but also offers practical suggestions for turning mindset changes into concrete actions in life. This video is not just a summary, it's a journey deep into the analysis of the key aspects of the book, integrating real-life stories to illustrate them and offering specific actions you can apply right away. Let's explore how adopting a growth mindset can transform your life. Success, no matter the area of life, is a topic that fascinates and motivates us to explore. But have you ever wondered why some people seem to achieve everything they desire while others face countless obstacles despite trying their best? This leads to the age-old question that many have asked: does success really come from innate talent? Or is it the result of how we learn and develop ourselves each day? Carol Dweck, the author of the famous book Mindset and a leading psychologist, offers us a different answer. She goes beyond academic concepts and reveals the psychological factors behind each individual's success. According to Dweck, it's not talent or innate intelligence that determines success, but how we think, how we view challenges, failure, and growth opportunities. Mindset clarifies the idea that there are two main mindsets: the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. Dweck points out that if you believe your talent or intelligence is something that can't be changed, you're stuck in a fixed mindset. But on the other hand, if you believe that your abilities and skills can be improved through effort and learning, you're embracing a growth mindset, the real key to progressing in life. This isn't just a theoretical concept. It's backed up by numerous real-life examples that Dweck researched and presented in her book. In this video, I won't just summarize the book. I want to help you understand how the growth mindset really works, so you can apply it to your daily life. By analyzing key aspects from the book and combining them with real-life examples and actionable steps, we will explore how this mindset can change how you face challenges, drive progress, and achieve your goals. This isn't just a journey of understanding, it's an opportunity for you to start a new, inspiring, and successful life. Let's begin the first step in the journey of discovering inner strength and understanding how mindset can create profound changes in your life. Now that we've sparked curiosity about the importance of mindset in shaping success and introduced the basic concepts from Carol Dweck's Mindset, it's time to dive deeper into the core content. Let's explore the two basic types of mindset, the fixed mindset and the growth mindset, and understand how they influence behavior, choices, and the outcomes each person achieves in life. In life, some people believe that their abilities and intelligence are fixed, as if these qualities were determined the moment they were born. This is the hallmark of a fixed mindset, a perspective that makes people believe they cannot surpass their current limits and that any effort is useless when faced with challenges. People with a fixed mindset often avoid challenges because they fear failure will diminish their self-worth. When difficulties arise, they easily get discouraged and tend to give up rather than finding ways to push through. Negative feedback becomes a great enemy for them because they don't want to confront anything that might shake their belief in their current abilities. Moreover, the success of others doesn't inspire them. Instead, it threatens them, leading to feelings of envy or inadequacy. A real-life example that clearly illustrates the fixed mindset is the story of individuals who were considered child prodigies. These people often received much praise for their talents. But as they grew older and faced new challenges, they could no longer maintain their superiority. Why is that? It's because the belief that they didn't need to learn or put in effort led them to stop developing and failed to adapt to the ever-increasing demands of life. A fixed mindset isn't just the belief that one's abilities and intelligence are set in stone from birth, but also a way of thinking that unintentionally creates barriers in life. This belief makes people constantly ask themselves, "Am I good enough to do this?" instead of, "How can I improve and do better?" When someone holds a fixed mindset, they often tend to shy away from challenges that might cause them to fail. In their minds, failure isn't an opportunity to learn, it's a sign of weakness. So, instead of facing difficulty, they stay in their comfort zone, missing out on major opportunities in life. Avoiding failure limits their potential for growth and self-discovery. Furthermore, individuals with a fixed mindset are often quick to get discouraged when things don't go as expected. They lack the patience and determination to face obstacles, because deep down, they believe that no matter how much effort they put in, the results won't change. This mindset keeps them stuck in place while others continue to move forward. Another notable factor is their difficulty in accepting negative feedback. Constructive criticism is often seen as a personal attack, and instead of using it to improve themselves, they may react negatively or even ignore it. Instead of feeling happy for the success of others, they feel threatened, which leads to unhealthy competition and feelings of inferiority. The story of failed prodigies in life is the most vivid proof of the damage that a fixed mindset can do. Many people, as children, were praised for their exceptional abilities, which led them to believe that success was inevitable. But as they grew older, they faced challenges beyond their initial capabilities and began to lose confidence. Their lack of effort and unwillingness to change caused them to miss opportunities for growth. And eventually, others surpassed them. In stark contrast to the fixed mindset, the growth mindset is the belief that all abilities and skills can be improved through continuous effort and learning. This is a positive, proactive perspective that allows us to turn challenges into opportunities for growth. People with a growth mindset tend to view challenges as opportunities to learn, rather than avoiding them like those with a fixed mindset. For them, every difficulty is a valuable lesson that helps expand their abilities and mindset. Additionally, persistence in the face of adversity is a defining characteristic of this mindset. Instead of giving up when encountering obstacles, they always seek ways to overcome them with specific and decisive actions. Furthermore, individuals with a growth mindset actively seek feedback from others, whether it is positive or negative. For them, feedback is not criticism but a useful tool for self-improvement and refinement. Importantly, they feel inspired by the success of others, rather than feeling threatened or envious. The success of others becomes a source of motivation for them to learn, emulate, and push themselves further. A real-life example of a growth mindset can be found in many individuals who have achieved great success despite starting from very humble beginnings. Take Michael Jordan, the basketball legend. As an example, Jordan was once cut from his high school basketball team, but instead of quitting, he relentlessly practiced and improved his skills. It was this constant effort, combined with a growth mindset, that led him to become one of the greatest basketball players in history. The growth mindset is not just a positive attitude but a way of life, an approach to all aspects of life. When we believe that our abilities can improve through effort and learning, we unlock countless opportunities for growth, rather than being confined by our current limitations. One of the standout features of the growth mindset is the ability to turn challenges into opportunities for learning. For those who hold this mindset, every failure is not an end, but a stepping stone toward success. Challenges, instead of being obstacles, are seen as real-life exercises to improve skills and thinking. This mindset makes them unafraid to embrace new opportunities, even when they are risky or outside their comfort zones. Persistence is also a key trait of individuals with a growth mindset. Instead of giving up when faced with difficulties, they choose to keep pushing forward because they believe that every problem has a solution if they try hard enough. This persistence is a crucial factor in helping them achieve success, even if their starting point was not outstanding. Moreover, people with a growth mindset always seek feedback to improve themselves. They do not view negative feedback as an attack but as an opportunity for growth. The way they accept and act on feedback is why they continually make progress. It's also important to highlight their ability to feel inspired by the success of others. Instead of feeling jealous or threatened, they see it as proof that success is within reach if they put in enough effort. This not only fosters a positive spirit but also motivates them to keep striving. A great example of a growth mindset is the story of Thomas Edison, widely regarded as a creative genius of the century. Edison failed thousands of times while inventing the light bulb, but instead of seeing these failures as an end, he viewed them as lessons that brought him closer to success. His ability to learn from failure helped him create an invention that changed the world. The growth mindset is not just a tool for achieving success, it is a companion throughout your journey, helping you consistently move forward and explore your true potential. The fundamental difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset lies not only in beliefs but also in how each person approaches challenges in life. To understand this more deeply, let's explore these mindsets in real-life situations. From learning and work to personal relationships, people with a fixed mindset often see their abilities as a gift that cannot change. They believe that all of their success is based on innate talent. And if that talent isn't sufficient, no other efforts will matter. In contrast, those with a growth mindset believe that abilities can be developed. This belief makes them more willing to experiment, fail, and try again without getting discouraged because they know that every experience teaches them something to improve themselves. A simple example of this difference can be seen in how people handle feedback or criticism. Someone with a fixed mindset tends to view negative feedback as a personal attack, leading to defensiveness or even ignoring the feedback altogether. On the other hand, someone with a growth mindset sees feedback as a valuable tool for progress. They don't just listen to it, they act on it to improve themselves continuously. This difference is also evident in learning. A student with a fixed mindset will avoid subjects or fields they aren't naturally good at, fearing failure and judgment. Meanwhile, a student with a growth mindset sees challenges as opportunities to explore their potential and broaden their knowledge. As a result, the student with a growth mindset makes continuous progress, even if they aren't the best right from the start. In the workplace, the growth mindset often becomes the key to long-term success. People with this mindset are not afraid to take on new tasks because they believe the necessary skills will be developed through learning and practice. They seek opportunities for personal growth and inspire others around them. In contrast, individuals with a fixed mindset are often limited in career development because they fear failure and reject opportunities that stretch beyond their current abilities. The clear distinction between these two mindsets is the determining factor not only for success but also for personal satisfaction and growth in life. The fixed mindset binds individuals within existing limits, while the growth mindset offers the freedom to reach further, experiment, and conquer new challenges. Once we understand the fundamental differences between the two mindsets, as well as their characteristics and impacts, we can recognize the potential power that mindset can bring to life. But how can these concepts be practically applied in daily life? Let's explore how mindset, whether fixed or growth, affects important aspects like learning, work, relationships, and even sports. This will be a journey to uncover new and more specific perspectives on the powerful impact of mindset in reality. Learning and education are the first and most important environments where a person's mindset is shaped. The way teachers and parents interact with children can have a profound impact, determining whether a child develops a fixed or growth mindset. A crucial factor here is how praise is given. When parents or teachers praise a child's innate talent, saying things like, "You're so smart," or "You're so talented," they inadvertently plant the seed of a fixed mindset in the child's mind. The child will easily come to believe that success is based solely on inherent talent and will start avoiding challenges that they fear might lead to failure, in order to protect their image of being smart. In contrast, if parents and teachers praise effort and hard work, such as, "You worked really hard to complete this task," or, "It's great that you didn't give up even when it was tough," they help the child develop a growth mindset. Such praise encourages the child to focus on the process rather than the outcome. This helps the child believe that all skills can be improved through learning and perseverance. A real-world example that demonstrates this difference comes from a study by Carol Dweck conducted with children. Those who were praised for their efforts tended to choose more challenging tasks in order to challenge themselves and learn more. Meanwhile, children who were praised for their intelligence often chose easier tasks, fearing that failure would tarnish their image of being smart. So, how can we apply the growth mindset in learning and education? Changing the way we learn and respond is the first step. Instead of focusing solely on grades or short-term achievements, we need to encourage children to ask questions, experiment with new methods, and embrace failure as a natural part of the learning process. Teachers can create classroom environments where every mistake is seen as an opportunity to learn. Parents can share stories of their own efforts or failures, conveying the message that failure is not the end but the beginning of growth. Learning is not just about absorbing knowledge, it's also a journey of self-discovery and developing capabilities. When the growth mindset is nurtured early on, children will have a solid foundation to face challenges and reach their fullest potential. Mindset is not only how we perceive ourselves but also a crucial factor that influences every aspect of our lives. From the small lessons in school, the challenges in our careers, to personal relationships and physical training efforts, mindset serves as a compass, shaping behaviors and outcomes. Let's dive deeper into each important area to understand how mindset can change our lives. Learning and education. Shaping the future through mindset. Learning is not merely the process of acquiring knowledge, it is also a journey of self-exploration and mindset development. From an early age, every child's mindset is shaped by how they receive knowledge, feedback from adults, and their attitude toward challenges. That's why developing a growth mindset in learning becomes one of the key factors for long-term success. A crucial point in education is the role of parents and teachers in shaping a child's mindset. Words of encouragement and daily interactions can have a profound impact. Imagine a child struggling with a difficult math problem. If an adult says, "You're so smart for solving this," it could lead the child to believe that success only comes from being inherently intelligent. But if the phrase is changed to, "You worked really hard and figured out the solution," that's amazing. The child will understand that it's the effort that leads to results, thus fostering a growth mindset. It's not just about praise. The way learning activities are designed also has a deep influence. A classroom that only focuses on grades can easily put pressure on children, leading to a fixed mindset. On the other hand, if teachers encourage children to ask questions, experiment with new methods, or accept failure as a natural part of the learning process, the child will feel free to explore and learn. Such situations help the child become more confident in facing challenges. A clear example of this is Carol Dweck's study, where she conducted an experiment with children. Those praised for their effort tended to choose more difficult tasks because they wanted to learn more, while those praised for their intelligence avoided difficult tasks to avoid the risk of failure. This demonstrates how the approach of adults can completely change a child's attitude toward learning. Moreover, the growth mindset in learning isn't just for children but also for adults. In today's fast-paced world where knowledge and technology are rapidly evolving, maintaining a growth mindset is key to continued adaptation and development. Adults with a growth mindset view learning as a lifelong journey, never hesitating to return to school, enroll in new training programs, or learn new skills outside of their current job. This helps them constantly expand their limits and stay prepared for changes in work and life. So, how can each individual apply the growth mindset to learning? Here are a few specific actions. Focus on the process of learning, not just the outcome. Embrace challenges and failures as opportunities to learn. Encourage curiosity and experimentation. Share personal stories of perseverance to inspire others. Learning and education are not just places to acquire knowledge but also opportunities to shape mindset and build a foundation for sustainable development in the future. With a growth mindset, every lesson becomes a significant step toward discovering one's true potential. If education is where our thinking is shaped and nurtured, then work is where our thinking is truly tested and put into action. In a competitive and ever-changing work environment, how we apply a growth mindset can be the deciding factor between success and failure. Let's dive into how mindset affects our careers and how we can leverage the power of thinking to continuously improve in our jobs. Work and career. The power of mindset in a challenging environment. In today's work world, where pressure and competition are constantly on the rise, mindset acts as a navigation system that helps us face challenges and find success. The difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset becomes particularly clear in this environment. The way we perceive ourselves and handle failure can shape the entire trajectory of our careers. People with a fixed mindset often shy away from big challenges or difficult tasks because they fear that failure will diminish their worth in the eyes of others. They often feel stuck in their jobs because they don't believe they can learn or adapt to improve. This limitation tends to make them miss opportunities for growth. and they may easily fall into the trap of comparing themselves to their colleagues, feeling pressured by their success. On the other hand, those with a growth mindset constantly seek opportunities to learn. For them, every challenge at work is a hands-on exercise to improve their skills and expand their potential. They understand that failure is not the end but part of the process of progress. The ability to adapt and persist in the face of adversity is what helps them overcome barriers and continue making strides in their careers. A real-life example of a growth mindset is Oprah Winfrey's story. She was fired from her first television job because she was considered unsuitable for the role. But instead of letting this failure define her, she learned from her mistakes and never stopped growing, eventually becoming one of the most successful media moguls in history. It was her relentless attitude of learning and overcoming obstacles that helped her build such an impressive career. To cultivate a growth mindset in your career, here are some specific actions you can take. 1. Embrace new challenges. Don't be afraid to take on tough tasks. Every challenge is an opportunity to learn and grow. If you're worried about failure, see it as an opportunity to hone your problem-solving skills and discover new ways of doing things. 2. Focus on the process, not just the outcome, rather than focusing solely on the end result. Pay attention to the process. What you learn along the way will determine your personal growth and development. 3. Learn from feedback. One of the quickest ways to improve at work is to listen to and learn from feedback. Whether it's positive or constructive, take it as valuable guidance to improve your skills and performance. 4. Never stop learning. Work is not a place to stop learning. Always seek out opportunities to enhance your skills. Stay up to date with industry trends, and improve your knowledge base. People with a growth mindset never stop looking for ways to learn, whether it's inside or outside of the company. 5. Build a supportive network. Connect with others who share a growth mindset. This will help keep you motivated and provide a space to exchange experiences and learn from each other. Your network could include colleagues, mentors, or people from your industry with more experience. 6. Persevere. Developing a growth mindset requires persistence. Sometimes things don't go as planned, but what's important is that you don't give up and continue learning from your failures. Remember, every setback is just one step closer to success. Oprah Winfrey's story is a clear example of how a growth mindset shapes a career. She didn't just see failure as something to avoid, but as a stepping stone to growth. This is why applying a growth mindset in your career doesn't just help you improve your skills, it also builds the resilience to overcome difficulties and achieve long-term success. With a growth mindset, every challenge is an opportunity, every failure is a valuable lesson, and every step forward is an important milestone in your career journey. After work, personal relationships are where mindset truly shows how we connect with others. From friendships and family bonds to romantic relationships, mindset influences not only how we handle conflicts but also the ability to maintain long-lasting connections. Let's explore how mindset can be an essential factor in nurturing meaningful relationships. Personal relationships. Building and sustaining connection through mindset. Personal relationships, whether romantic, familial, or friendships, play a vital role in our lives. However, how we handle conflicts, understand the feelings of others, and maintain long-term bonds depends greatly on the mindset we apply. Mindset not only affects how we view ourselves but also shapes how we interact with and understand others. With a fixed mindset, people often struggle to accept change or feedback within a relationship. For instance, when facing a conflict, they tend to avoid it rather than find ways to resolve it. A fixed mindset leads them to believe that problems in a relationship are a sign of an irreversible failure, resulting in feelings of resignation or distancing. They find it difficult to open up to feedback from others, viewing it as criticism rather than an opportunity for growth. In contrast, a growth mindset allows individuals to improve relationships by learning from mistakes and conflicts. People with a growth mindset understand that connection isn't always perfect, but challenges in relationships are opportunities for both parties to grow. Instead of avoiding issues, they choose to face them and work together to resolve them, while viewing feedback as a way to better understand each other and build a stronger bond. A clear example can be seen in romantic relationships, when disagreements occur. Someone with a fixed mindset might feel resentful and struggle to forgive the other person. On the other hand, someone with a growth mindset would seek to understand the root cause, engage in open conversation, and learn from the situation to grow together. This not only helps the relationship overcome difficulties but also strengthens it. Specific actions to build a growth mindset in personal relationships. 1. Be open to feedback. Embrace feedback from loved ones as an opportunity to learn and improve. See it not as criticism but as a chance to understand each other better. 2. Face conflicts head-on. Don't shy away from disagreements. Instead, approach them with the mindset of learning and resolving the issue together. This strengthens the relationship and builds resilience. 3. Practice empathy. Make an effort to understand the emotions and perspectives of others. This helps deepen the connection and creates a more supportive, understanding relationship. 4. Learn from mistakes. Recognize that mistakes are part of the process in any relationship. Rather than seeing them as failures, view them as opportunities to learn and grow stronger together. 5. Foster open communication. Encourage honest and open conversations. This helps build trust and ensures that both sides feel heard and valued. A growth mindset not only helps individuals improve themselves but also becomes the key to sustaining meaningful and lasting relationships in life. When we are willing to learn and change, every connection has the potential to grow stronger. After exploring how mindset influences personal relationships, we can see clearly that mindset not only impacts our emotional aspects but also helps us overcome our personal limits. In sports and skill development, a growth mindset plays a crucial role, helping us not only achieve our goals but also overcome significant challenges to attain remarkable accomplishments. Let's explore how mindset becomes the deciding factor in this field. Sports and skills. Mindset creates champions. Sports and skill development require more than just physical strength or innate talent. They rely heavily on how we think. Exceptional athletes and those who conquer new skills share one common trait: they possess a growth mindset, which allows them to overcome failure, persist in training, and continuously improve themselves. With a fixed mindset, people often believe that their sporting abilities or personal skills are predetermined. If they feel they're not good enough in a particular area, they easily give up without making an effort to practice. They also tend to avoid challenges, fearing that failure will expose their weaknesses. This mindset makes it difficult for them to progress in sports or skill development. In contrast, a growth mindset provides the strength to push past personal limits and achieve great success. People with a growth mindset believe that skills and physical strength can be improved through consistent practice. When faced with failure, they don't get discouraged but instead look for ways to learn from their mistakes and continue moving forward. This positive attitude is the key factor that helps them not only achieve their goals but also accomplish things that once seemed impossible. A prime example of a growth mindset in sports is the story of Michael Jordan. Jordan wasn't a natural-born basketball talent. In fact, he was cut from his high school basketball team. However, instead of giving up, he dedicated countless hours each day to perfect his skills. It was his perseverance and growth mindset that helped him become one of the greatest basketball legends in history. Not only in sports, but a growth mindset can also be applied to learning new skills. For example, when learning to play an instrument or a foreign language, a growth mindset helps us accept that we will face challenges at first. But through effort and perseverance, we will gradually become more proficient. Specific actions to develop mindset in sports and skill development. A growth mindset is the deciding factor that helps us push past our limits and achieve success in both sports and skill development. When we believe that every ability can improve and every failure is a lesson, our potential becomes limitless. Key aspects of life, whether in learning, work, personal relationships, or sports, have all shown the incredible power of mindset in shaping behavior and outcomes. But what if you realize you're stuck in a fixed mindset? How can you let go of limiting beliefs to open up endless opportunities for growth? Let's move on to the next section to explore practical strategies. From identifying a fixed mindset to building positive habits, to help you transform your thinking and move closer to success. Shifting from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset is not an easy journey. It requires deep self-awareness, patience, and a commitment to change the way you perceive yourself and the world around you. This process is like peeling away layers of limitations to uncover the limitless potential within you. To begin, the most important step is to recognize a fixed mindset within yourself. Clear signs such as avoiding challenges, viewing failure as proof of incompetence, or reacting negatively to feedback from others are all indicators that you're stuck in a fixed mindset. Ask yourself, am I avoiding an opportunity because of fear of failure? What makes me anxious when facing challenges? These types of questions will help you reflect and better understand the limits you've placed on yourself. Failure is an inevitable part of life, but how we perceive failure is the deciding factor. People with a fixed mindset often see failure as evidence of incompetence, a state that cannot be changed. In contrast, a growth mindset helps you recognize that failure is merely a stepping stone in the learning process. Each failure is not the end but a valuable lesson. Learn to keep a failure journal, where you record the lessons learned after every instance you don't reach your goal. This practice will not only help you view failure positively but also provide opportunities for improvement and growth. However, awareness alone is not enough to change your mindset. You need to take specific actions to build a growth mindset through daily habits. One of the most effective ways is to focus on the process rather than the outcome. Set goals not only around the achievements you want to reach but also emphasize how you'll achieve them. For example, instead of setting a goal like, achieve an A in the exam, set a goal like, dedicate 2 hours each day to study systematically. By focusing on the small steps, you'll realize that growth lies not in the destination but in the journey. Positive self-talk is also vital in changing your mindset. Phrases like, I'm not skilled yet, but I'll learn to improve, or mistakes don't define me, they help me progress, can become powerful sources of motivation. Instead of letting negative thoughts control you, focus on constructive reminders to maintain perseverance. It's also crucial to embrace feedback. Feedback is often misunderstood as criticism, but for those with a growth mindset, it's a vital tool for self-improvement. Learn to listen to feedback with an open attitude, viewing it as a roadmap, showing where you can improve. Don't react defensively or ignore feedback. Instead, create a specific plan of action based on those insights. Lastly, creating a positive environment is key to the mindset transformation process. Seek out friends, colleagues, or mentors who embody a growth mindset. A community that encourages experimentation and learning will be an ideal space for you to continue growing. In your work or learning environment, encourage colleagues or team members to embrace risks and learn from mistakes. This not only drives your personal growth but also helps build a culture of growth mindset within the group. Shifting from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset is not just about changing the way you perceive the world, but also about taking specific actions to build a positive lifestyle. Remember, every step, no matter how small, brings you closer to the best version of yourself. The power of perseverance and self-awareness in the journey of mindset change. Transitioning from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset is not a process that happens overnight. It requires persistent effort and deep self-awareness. Many people feel discouraged when they don't see immediate results, but it is here that the growth mindset will help you persist. The most important thing to recognize in this process is that change does not occur in a straight line. It is a series of ups and downs. You may encounter difficulties or even feel like you are back to square one. But this does not mean you have failed. This is a natural part of the growth process. Self-awareness acts as a compass to guide you in understanding where you are and what you need to do to make progress. Regularly take time to reflect on yourself. For example, ask yourself, what have I improved compared to last week? Or, why do I feel frustrated with this situation? And what can I do differently? These questions help you not only identify a fixed mindset but also come up with concrete solutions to move forward. A real-life example of perseverance can be seen in those who have overcome significant adversity to achieve success. J.K. Rowling, author of the Harry Potter series, faced dozens of rejections from publishers before her work was finally embraced. If she had a fixed mindset, she might have given up after the first rejection. However, her growth mindset and perseverance allowed her to continue refining her work and ultimately achieve global success. Concrete actions to maintain perseverance and self-awareness. Perseverance is not only what keeps you moving on your journey of transformation but also evidence of your mindset's maturity. When you realize that each small step matters, you will gradually feel the strength of the growth mindset in your everyday life. We've learned how to shift from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset by recognizing, changing our perspective on failure, and building positive habits. However, to make the growth mindset truly ingrained and become an inseparable part of your life, you need to know how to turn these learned principles into real actions. This section will bridge the gap, taking the growth mindset from theory to practice. Let's explore effective application methods, ways to build specific plans, and self-assessment tools to help you continuously improve. A growth mindset does not stop at changing the way you think. The most important part is to turn it into concrete actions in daily life. To truly harness the power of this mindset, you need to apply it in learning, work, and daily habits. This will not only help you face challenges better but also continuously motivate you to progress and unlock your potential. One of the first steps is to apply the growth mindset in learning. In education, many people often feel pressured by grades or achievements, leading to a fixed mindset of, "I'm not good enough," when failing a subject. To overcome this barrier, change how you view the learning process. See each lesson as an opportunity to explore and expand your knowledge. For example, instead of setting a goal to achieve an A immediately, you can focus on mastering one concept at a time each day. A concrete action is to use a learning journal to write down what you've learned and the questions you still need to explore. This not only helps reinforce knowledge but also maintains a sense of progress. In work, a growth mindset can be a major advantage, especially in a competitive and ever-changing environment. Rather than feeling threatened by colleagues who are better, see them as a source of inspiration to learn from. When given a difficult task, instead of worrying about failure, remind yourself, "This is an opportunity to challenge myself and grow." A concrete action is to ask for feedback from supervisors and colleagues and apply it to improve your performance. You can also set a goal to develop a new skill each month, such as learning a new tool or attending a professional seminar. This helps you continuously improve and adapt. In daily life, a growth mindset can be applied by the way you face everyday small challenges. For example, instead of feeling discouraged when facing a personal issue, ask yourself, "What can I learn from this situation?" Maintaining a daily self-assessment habit is also a powerful way to cultivate a growth mindset. Each evening, take a few minutes to ask, "What have I improved today? Where can I do better?" Reflecting not only helps you adjust your behavior but also enhances self-awareness and growth. Building a specific plan to cultivate a growth mindset is another important step. Start by breaking down large goals into smaller, more achievable steps. For example, if you want to learn a new language, instead of putting pressure on yourself to master it quickly, set a goal to learn 10 new words every day and practice basic conversations each week. Continuity and persistence are key factors in transforming your mindset into action. Additionally, self-assessment questions to evaluate and adjust your mindset daily will serve as a companion to remind you to maintain growth. Some suggested questions might be, "What did I improve today? How can I better handle challenges? What have I learned from my mistakes? What can I do to maintain a positive mindset?" These questions not only help maintain a growth mindset but also open up opportunities to view every aspect of life from a more positive perspective. Applying a growth mindset in daily life requires you to not only change how you think but also act strategically and with discipline. From learning, work, to everyday moments, let the growth mindset be the compass that guides you forward. The journey of exploring the growth mindset has taken us from identifying psychological barriers, learning to overcome failure, to transforming daily actions to get closer to our potential. Now, it's time to summarize the core values of the growth mindset and reflect on its significance in life. The important thing is not just to understand but to truly act on it, making this mindset a guide for every step we take. Let's look back on this journey and find renewed motivation to transform ourselves. Growth mindset is a powerful concept that not only lays the foundation for personal progress but also transforms how we view the world. The book has guided us through a meaningful journey, from exploring the contrast between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset, to identifying, acting on, and applying this mindset to various aspects of life. But is merely understanding the mindset enough to create real change? My personal perspective on the value of the growth mindset emphasizes that it is not just a tool, but a way of life. When you truly live with a growth mindset, you continually learn from every challenge, every small success, and every piece of feedback you receive. This is not merely a concept, it's how you face the world, where you see opportunities in challenges and find motivation in failure. It brings freedom because you are no longer afraid of making mistakes, knowing that every mistake has value if you can learn from it. What makes the growth mindset particularly special is that it is not a passive state, where you merely think that things will improve. It demands that you act. Understanding alone is not enough. You can read hundreds of books on growth mindset, but if you do not take action to change how you approach challenges, learn to view failure differently, or focus on the process rather than just the outcome, everything will remain theoretical. It is action that drives true transformation. Ask yourself, What have I done today to cultivate a growth mindset? Questions like this not only help you reflect but also motivate you to immediately apply the principles you've learned. For example, if you face difficulties at work, instead of feeling discouraged, take time to analyze the issue and draw a lesson from it. This will not only improve your performance but also help you feel stronger each day. The key to the growth mindset is not just about learning, it's about living it every day. Taking tangible steps to shape your mindset, and committing to the journey of continual self-improvement. In conclusion, a growth mindset offers value not only in helping you progress but also in the way it transforms you from the inside, making you more confident, positive, and constantly seeking opportunities to learn and grow. This is a call to start your journey of change today. Don't wait. Don't think you're not ready. Every small action, such as challenging a fixed belief or viewing failure positively, brings you closer to the best version of yourself. The growth mindset is not just a mental concept or a life philosophy. It is a profound force that changes how we exist in life. When we embody a growth mindset, the remarkable thing is not just achieving specific goals but the complete transformation in how we face ourselves and the world. Imagine waking up one day and realizing that all the limits you once thought were impossible are just barriers created by your own mind. This means that circumstances, talent, or luck don't define who you are. It's your mindset and actions that shape the best version of yourself. What sets the growth mindset apart is its intrinsic motivational power. When you truly believe that abilities can improve through effort, you'll realize that success is not the privilege of a few, lucky, or naturally gifted people. Everyone has the potential to grow, but the prerequisite is action. If we only read about growth mindset and agree with the theory, it's less valuable than taking on a small challenge, putting in effort to complete it, learning from the process, and continuing to improve. A concrete example illustrating the power of action is the story of great creators and entrepreneurs. Elon Musk, for example, faced many failures, from SpaceX's rocket launches to Tesla's financial struggles. But instead of accepting failure as an endpoint, he focused on the problems that needed fixing, learned from every mistake, and pushed his company through the challenges. This not only demonstrates a growth mindset but also proves that this mindset only matters when accompanied by real-world action. So why is understanding alone not enough? Knowledge can help you recognize potential, but it's action that turns that potential into reality. If you realize that you have a fixed mindset in a certain area, such as avoiding challenges, but don't make any changes, awareness won't get you any further. Action, even the smallest, is your way of signaling to your mind, I'm starting to do something different. The journey of developing a growth mindset is not always easy. There will be days when you feel like you're stuck or even going backwards. But what's important is to remember that every small step you take has value. For example, trying to learn a new skill that you once thought was impossible, like learning to play an instrument or starting a sports habit, will help you build a routine of accepting challenges. Success is not about achieving something instantly, but about constantly improving yourself every day. Finally, a growth mindset doesn't just have personal significance, it also spreads to those around you. When you begin to change how you view failure, how you face challenges, and how you persist with your goals, you will become an inspiration for your friends, colleagues, and family. You're not only building a better version of yourself but also contributing to a positive environment where everyone grows together. A growth mindset is the gateway to unlimited opportunities. But to step through that door, you need to act. With every small step, every resolution, and every change in how you think and act, start now, because every action today is a brick building the future of your life. A growth mindset is not just a tool in the journey of learning and growing, but a key that unlocks the infinite potential within each person. When we dare to view failure as a stepping stone rather than a barrier, when we learn to act rather than just theorize, that's when the growth mindset truly becomes a guide for life. Real-world examples, from creators, athletes, to ordinary people overcoming challenges, show that anyone can transform themselves if they're willing to act. This journey doesn't demand perfection but requires perseverance. Every small step you take brings value, and it's these daily actions that will create the bigger path. Start today. Ask yourself what you've done to progress. Listen to feedback with an open mind, and accept that failure is just part of success. Make a growth mindset not only a philosophy but a way of life so that you can inspire yourself and those around you. This journey is yours, and you are the one writing your unique story of growth.